Well, good morning, everybody. I call this hearing to order. Today's hearing comes at a time when the topic of interest of extreme heat, is top of the mind for literally millions of Americans. Just like last week, Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, where we're gathered today, experienced its hottest day on record. Temperatures reached 99 degrees with a heat index between 100 and 105 degrees. That record followed a summer of sweltering heat waves across large parts of our country. For example, Phoenix, Arizona, home to one of our witnesses today, saw a temperature of 110 degrees or hotter every day from June 30th to July 30th. I'm going to say that again. When I read it, I didn't believe it. But Phoenix, Arizona, home to one of our witnesses today, saw temperatures of 110 degrees or hotter every day from June 30th to July 30th, and even hotter days in August. In fact, this summer was our planet's hottest on record, according to data from the European Union Climate Change Service. Extreme heat contributes to dry conditions that make areas more susceptible to wildfires that burn out of control. Just last month, our nation witnessed the heartbreaking loss of lives and businesses due to the unprecedented wildfires in Hawaii. And for years, we've seen the same thing happen across western states, including California, Oregon, and others. Wildfires can have wide-ranging impacts on transportation, from road closures and travel disruptions due to excessive smoke to the weakening of highways and bridge structures from the heat generated by those fires. These are not unrelated or isolated events. Extreme heat also means warmer oceans, which lead to stronger and more destructive hurricanes. Currently, we're in the middle of an active hurricane season that has already resulted in damaging storms that have unleashed wind, rain, and storm surges in Florida, in the southeast, and on the west coast. My own state of Delaware, coastal storms and flooding have resulted in closure of parts of State Route 1, a major north-south highway in our state, which links communities along our east coast. The frequency, the intensity, the duration of more intense heat waves, wildfires, and extreme weather across the United States have only gotten worse in recent years, due in large part to human-caused climate change. In turn, this has put our nation's transportation infrastructure, our workforce, and our travelers at a greater risk of harm. Extreme heat can impact our transportation infrastructure in many ways. For example, when temperatures reach triple-digit, roadways can buckle, resulting in costly damage that disrupts travel and leads to unsafe road conditions. In fact, it's estimated that the additional road maintenance and replacement costs caused by extreme heat could reach a total cost of $26 billion nationwide by 2040. And it's not just roads and highway infrastructure that experience the effects of extreme heat. High temperatures can cause rail tracks to shift, delaying or slowing rail service, something as a frequent rider on Amtrak between D.C. and Delaware I've experienced just in the last week. The last summer, a commuter train in San Francisco Bay Area derailed when the temperature of the tracks exceeded 140 degrees. When talking about extreme heat, we can't forget that heat's effect on transportation infrastructure directly impacts the people who use it as well as those who build and maintain it. We know that rising temperatures have serious implications for our health. Thousands of people in the United States are hospitalized each year due to health. Many of these hospitalizations are workers who are exposed to dangerously high temperatures on the job. Today, we're going to hear about the impacts that urban heat islands have on the people who live in the cities, including many who live in low income and disadvantaged communities. We will also hear about the hazards faced by our transportation construction workforce, whose jobs require them to be outside, building, repairing our roads, highways, and our bridges, even when temperatures soar to record highs. In the years ahead, extreme heat will continue to threaten our infrastructure and our public health, even as we work to transition toward a cleaner energy future. Fortunately, solutions are available to help transportation agencies better address the effects of extreme heat. Cities like Phoenix, Arizona, and Los Angeles, California are turning to innovative materials, including cooler pavements which give off less heat than traditional pavements. Communities are also deploying strategies to reduce the urban heat island effect by planting more tree cover to help cool sidewalks and transit stops and reduce the overall heat intensity in dense, highly paved places. In Delaware, we have already planted some, I think, 80,000 trees since the launching of a program, an initiative called Tree for Every Delaware Initiative. And we launched that, I think, in 2020. Proud that our community has taken a leadership role in implementing policies to address extreme heat and weather at the federal level. In the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law and the Inflation Reduction Act, we created new programs, including the Healthy Streets Program, the Protect Program, and the Neighborhood Access and Equity Program to help states and local governments better address this challenge. And with that, my hope is today's hearing will help to further our committee's understanding of the nexus between extreme heat and transportation. I also hope that our hearing today will bring greater awareness to the work that is being done across our country to address this increasingly urgent problem. Today, we're privileged to be joined by a panel of 3 witnesses who will testify about the many ways in which cities, the labor force, and the private sector are working, and in many ways working together to make our communities more resilient to extreme heat and weather events. And I would say, just before introducing our ranking member, Senator Capito, when we talk about issues like these and extreme weather and extreme weather events, I'm a guy who always looks for opportunity in adversity. Always looks for opportunity in adversity, and that opportunity would include the creation of jobs, good-paying jobs. And that will be part of what as we address these issues today, that I'm always looking for that. How do we create a more nurturing environment for job creation and in all this adversity, and there's a lot of it right now around the planet, how do we somehow grasp and create some economic opportunity and put people to work?